here. So he was actually doing a lot on this Mozi compared to what he did on a Quay. Quay, yes, he did land all those amazing hooks, but on this game itself, he's also a pseudo damage dealer on that roam pick.
Yeah, and also because, you know, the Mozi has the Peacebringer, so he has a little bit of more mobility. He would probably, you know, just be a little bit further ahead as opposed to the Quay, who's a little bit more static, where you know when you're going for the hit, you need somebody to back you up. So I'm sure that they were on the same page a little bit more with that role in mind. But again, the Mozi is a little bit different here.
I agree, and this graph really aligns with what both the three of us have expected to happen, which is a very close fight between the two teams. And Singapore actually shows that they are able to take down Korea, but they did not manage to continue the momentum. The graph really shows that a roller coaster. Once it goes to Korea, goes to Singapore, and all the way back to Korea.
Yeah, it's about consistency in team fights and their decisions at those big few moments, right? You can see this graph early to mid game before the 10th minute mark. It's really back and forth, almost a 1 to 2,000 goal lead between the two teams. And afterwards, at the 10th minute mark, is where we saw Yuno and Seonggun start to find those amazing crowd control in the team fights, which led to the demise of Team Singapore in this game too.
Yeah, and you're watching this one, you're thinking, Korea just completely blew them out. It's like, no, actually not so much. It was very competitive. It took the last minute, as you see in this goal graph, for Korea to really kind of get to that moment. I would say like the 10-minute mark is when they started to just get that ultra rise and they were able to close it out. But this is a much closer, it's a much closer game than the 2-0 score will show.
Yeah, that's when Yuno comes in probably. But I want to ask both of you, do you both agree that it's gonna be Yuno that's gonna get the MVP?
Ooh, I think Seongbin or Hyunmin actually played really well too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think Yuno will.
Okay.
Because again, it's the first 50%. Like it's
because he's late.
It's the entire average, right, of how you played in the game. If you just show up for the fourth quarter, it's a very different ball game in that sense. But you know, I think that going in, it's going to be a much tougher decision to see who's going to be the actual MVP from production. Good help.
I think we'll find out later real soon. And as of now, you can see in these highlights here, the first 10 minutes actually went super duper well coming in from Team Singapore, isolating their targets here, picking off those key moments, building that goal lead into a steady even here. But take a look at this upcoming 10-minute fight here. This is where exactly where we saw the 50% that Holland mentioned here. Jumps in, Bridget charge, pops it, everybody takes the crowd control coming from Ji-hoon, and then, re-enters the team fight to capitalize on the escaping Yan Ziyang. As of this point, Ziyang is already, Kaiyang is already too far forward, gets caught by the golden token flash coming in from Hyunmin's Yoonjae, and that's all it wrote. And these are the moments. Yumin getting knocked up by the Overlord, getting chunked down by Seongbin's Angela, and then it's a 4v5, and it leads to the destruction of Team Singapore in this game too.
And this is where Hyunmin actually comes from the back.
Exactly.
Which is not expected, by the way. He actually rotated so far trying to catch them. And such a nice game being played by both sides of the region.
Yeah. And we want to see a little bit more, but we're going to find out who the MVP is actually going to be in this one. I think it's going to be a close one, but it looks like Seongbin from the mid lane off of the Angela. Your thoughts on that one?
I called it. Definitely. This is a very good performance coming in from Seongbin. He was really connecting the damage, the crowd control well, and this is back-to-back Angela game. And so far in this tournament, in the Asian Games qualifier, Angela seems to be a pretty popular pick.
Yeah, I agree. I was just about to say that because even Abdulaziz managed to get the MVP yesterday. So we do know that it's really working well for most of the teams, and I thought it's gonna be only working and effective only for the teams that don't have their own leagues. But apparently even Korea are showing up with a very good Angela gameplay and managed to get the MVP.
I think it just adds a lot. I mean, it has a stun, it has a lot of damage, it's sustaining, right? And if you want to just stand and fight, where a lot of the other side, if we're looking at junglers, they tend to be tanky, right? Yeah. So the Angela just burns through it, right? So it's like the perfect counter, and so it's just playing into the meta more than anything else.
And then in the early game as well, Angela is one of the rare mid laners in this Asian Games version that allows you to clear the wave fast with like 2 spell ones. 2 spell ones, wave is done, and then you immediately rotate to the side lane to assist your teammates here. So definitely well done coming in from Republic of Korea, getting a clean 2-0 to start their journey here in Group D. One of the most difficult groups that we actually have in the Asian Games qualifiers here.
The most important thing to me is hands down the best Korea gameplay today. or not just today, for the entire qualifiers for now. Or are we gonna see a lot more Kui gameplay like this afterwards? We don't know, but hopefully there is, because he has been proven on how Kui can be so effective today, and hopefully there's more Kui, because I love Kuis.
Yeah,
I love it.
But I also think that there's only Sungun is 1-1, right?
Yeah.
Let's be very honest. I think
Charles
that the way he was all right.
I'm going to tell Charles after this.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
tell
okay,
him that, Boba Blam was, telling him that.
Yeah, it is definitely a very good gameplay from everyone today, and we want to see what's coming up next. But after this, I do believe that we're gonna have a bit of an interview.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be having Mara.
Interesting.
Lovely Mara that's gonna be interviewing one of the representatives coming in from Team Korea to find out how they feel after that match. It's their first match in the Asian Games qualifiers here, so it's definitely always good to start on a right step coming in for Team of Korea. So without further ado, let's pass it over to the Mara so she can actually check out the interview and review with them what exactly happened. So take it away, Mara.
Team Korea opens the day with a 2-0 sweep. Congratulations, MVP in game number 1 with Kui. In fact, that Kui-Angela combo was so effective, with Angela finding ways to initiate and Kui with that crucial follow-up. How did you manage, and what makes this both pairing, what makes it so powerful, the Kui-Angela combo?
우선 너무 축하드립니다. 그래서 오늘 첫 승에 엔젤라랑 쿠이 이 조합이 선택한 이유 굉장한 좋은 조합이라고 생각하는데요. 그래서 이 조합을 선택한 이유이 무엇인지 말씀해 주세요.
지금 메타에서 안젤라가 미드 중에 굉장히 영향력이 큰 미드 캐릭 중에 하나이고, 안젤라를 썼을 때 또 종규와의 조합이 생각보다 괜찮다고 생각해서 안젤라랑 종규를 같이 픽하게 됐습니다.
So I think that this is, I'm so happy that this combination worked out, and then because after we have used this combination of Angela and Kui before, and then due to the experience, and then we choose this combination again for this first win.
And well done, MVP in game number 1. And what we also notice is that your team has an answer to your opponent's every single move. Your placement was great, and you seem to predict what's going to happen next. So has Team Korea developed this coordination and this map awareness? How was the communication like with your team earlier?
오늘 상대팀 싱가포르 팀을 만났는데요. 그래서 완전 완벽한 조직력을 보여주셨는데요. 그래서 어떤 비결인지 말씀해 주세요.
연습 때 이제 다른 팀들 그리고 싱가포르 팀들도 그렇고 되게 강팀이라고 생각을 해서 연습 과정에서 굉장히 준비를 단단히 하고 왔고, 그 연습의 결과라고 생각합니다.
So we know that Singapore is a very strong opponent to us. So during practice and training, we've been very focused and do a lot of practice against this team. So I think that's the effect from our training.
And that's such great respect to your opponent. And for sure, they're respecting Team Korea after what you've shown today. The world is watching, and so is Korea. What would you like to say to everybody?
그래서 우리 지금 대한민국 팬분들도 전 세계는 보고 있는데요. 그래서 대한민국 우리 팬분들께 한 말씀.
저희 대한민국 아노 오브 킹즈 팀 응원해 주셔서 감사하고, 앞으로도 더 좋은 경기 많이 해서 꼭 메달 딸 수 있게 잘 준비해 보겠습니다.
So thank you for supporting us, and then I hope that we can secure a medal, and thank you.
Once again, congratulations. Strong performance, and we're looking forward to the next. You heard it from Team Korea, and now we're going to be talking about that a little bit more with the casters. Lead the gorge.
like I say, every time that we have a representation coming in from different regions, one thing that is in common, they're always super proud and happy to represent their own region in the Asian Games esports qualifiers here. So I'm very happy with their performance, especially from Republic of Korea, because that was a showcase of what they can actually do, and they are aiming for the main event.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm not on a pro team, because come winner's interview, I would be like trash talking. I would just be bad mouthing. I would be probably a bad influence. And probably there's a reason why I'm not on the winner interview.
A very good thing that you're with us on this desk then. But we have to be talking about our next game after this. It's gonna be United Arab Emirates against Myanmar.
I think it's just like a, I would say, opening match coming in for both regions, because they have yet to play in a official match so far in the Asian Games esports qualifiers here. But if I were to put my focus, I think Myanmar definitely has a higher shot, because they do have competitive experience thus far. So for UAE, they're more like a challenger coming in to prove themselves that they can actually take this one.
I think Myanmar is a very good region as well, because I have went up against them. I've seen their plays as well, and their picks are more leaning towards support play, a lot of crowd controls, a lot of annoying heroes that they pick out, and that's just how they are. Again, I think it's also related to cultural thinking. Maybe with a lot more crowd control is gonna deal a lot more problems to the enemy.
Like a Quay.
Like a Quay.
Right, okay. I mean,
Quay.
I mean, just set it up. I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Anytime you can win games off of your roam, I think that you're doing a phenomenal job, right? I think that going in, it's also interesting to see exactly where UAE want to go, because of the fact that, again, we don't have as much data. We don't really know what sort of heroes they like. They too might be white players themselves, huh?
And I think to be a better Quay player, I think what do we need? It's gonna be a proper device. The best device for being a good Quay player, like all the pro players on the stage. What would it be, Sagi?
So if you're interested in the device that we are using currently in the 2026 Asian Games esports qualifiers for Honor of Kings, is gonna be iQOO 15R. 120 FPS. Ultra graphics, high quality, good cooling, because if you play out in the sun or when you're out with your friends, if the phone overheats, it's not going to be a fun time, because it throttles, like it goes black. So iQOO helps you with that. Get an iQOO if you want like better gaming experience.
Is this why I'm missing all my hooks? Because I don't have an iQOO phone.
Exactly.
No, that's a skill.
Are you going to do that thing again? Are you going to do that thing again to call you?
Yeah.
Hello, iQOO?
Yeah, no, iQOO, let me know. You can just, I think you need to snail mail me. I don't know how they would respond, because I don't have a phone, right? So I need to figure out a way to get access to an iQOO phone. I would say phone lines are open, but that's a lie, right? Because again,
you have a pen over there, and I have paper here.
Yeah, I do.
The old
write it down.
Style, write a letter.
I'm going to draw an iQOO phone.
I'm
going to draw an iQOO phone, and this is what it's going to look like. So I have to just manifest it, I would say.
Yeah, but you don't manifest it, just like what Mara always says, right? You manifest it until you actually get it here. But the main idea coming in from the next game here, UAE, the unknown, fighting Myanmar for a shot in their group. Everybody wants to go to the main event, so it's definitely going to be a very important one, because it's still the first game coming in for respective regions. So, well, that will eventually happen after this short break, because we are currently needing of one after so many of the Quay games here. So do bear with us. We will head to a short break before we come back for more HOK action.
Who will be the next to shine on the Asian Games stage? Contestants fight for the honor of their regions while we cheer them on from the stands. This is a challenge but it is also an opportunity. The time is turned.
Aspas in front. They're going to use it. Golden touch on the top. Go!
now. Now I see that I got everything I need. It's alright, I'm on fire, I'm alive, 'cause now I fly so high, so high. Light up the skyline, let's do it this time, like it's a whole new colorful world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Never thought we'd get this far, burning like the stars. How we get this far, like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. What's a life without its worth? Compromising with what hurts inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take in life. In life, I'm finally letting go. Everything that still holds me, I'm against the loss, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the starlight, can't no one let me down. Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to fight for everything I love. Victory's on my side. The more we lose, the more we gain. More than nothing stays the same in time. In time. Can't love ever, can't forget. What you see is what you get sometimes. Sometimes. Gonna show the world tonight. The light that shines inside us. We're against the odds, but we won't give up, 'cause it's our time to shine.
Welcome back to the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for Honor of Kings. This is day 2, and we have witnessed just now Republic of Korea taking down Team Singapore in a quick 2-0 fashion here. So Holler and Adam, what do we have for this upcoming series?
I think we're going to see a lot of drama, right? UAE and Myanmar, you can hear some of the players in the background, right? They are ready to go, and I think that they're fired up because, again, this is the first time they've been on stage at the Asian Games Qualifier today.
This is going to be very interesting because Myanmar has a lot of experience in this as well, and you know, they often use these unorthodox heroes that we rarely see being used in our league sometimes, and I think it's going to be very interesting for us too, because it's going to be very refreshing for sure.
I do have to agree with you, especially if you were following the previous edition of the KML region or the WKS region. Myanmar has always been a strong force to be reckoned with, and right now representing their region as the regional team, I do think that Myanmar might have what it takes to actually be one of the group leaders coming in towards their group.
Definitely one of the favorites.
Correct.
I mean, it's just that more that we've seen them on the international stage. I think UAE on the other side, you're kind of like, oh, how good are they? It was like, well, we haven't really seen too many games, so we can't really judge in that sense. But I think that it's still, you know, to their favor, right? They could be a dark horse. They could pop out some picks that we haven't seen thus far. It could be very interesting as we move forward.
I agree. United Arab Emirates with their picks is going to be fun for us to watch. And will they use Kui again? I don't know. It's going to be a lot of Kuis today maybe, because we love seeing that hooks when it connects, when it never misses like just now, it's gonna be the hottest topic today.
Adam, that's just because you like a good hooker, right?
Yes, I do. I know.
In this context,
Yeah, of course. What would you think? Anyways, yeah, I do think that it's very important for them, but they're kind of, it's all about the latest patch that will be coming out on June 17th. It's going to be called the Grand Venture. This is a huge update that will be on across all of the global platform. This is going to be an interesting one here.
It's the biggest one that's going to be coming this year. 4 new heroes, many new modes, Super Brawl Pro Sprite Link modes, and then you can also get like treasures with your Sprite Link taking it. So definitely, if you're interested in the upcoming new heroes, new updates, make sure to check out June 17th update here. But let's go back to our discussion there just now on UAE and also Myanmar. Like you mentioned here, there's very little information on the UAE squad, so maybe they're like this dark horse or like this underdog here that can actually make it happen in their group. Because if we revisit back to the format of this tournament, first place, second place, directly qualifying to the main event. But if you're 4th and 5th, you're out of contention. But 3rd place, you still have a shot to actually go into the last chance qualifiers. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun for us to see, because we don't want that number 3 slot, because you're going to have to play a lot more games than you're supposed to, because you could have rested so way earlier if you get number 1 and number 2.
That's correct here, but let's put our focus back into this exact matchup here between United Arab Emirates and also Team Myanmar. So let's start with a teaser video.
A force wrapped in mystery, stepping onto the field with no expectations to hold them back. Unpredictable and fearless, their greatest strength may lie in the unknown. A new challenger has arrived. Please welcome United Arab Emirates!
Carrying the pride of their region, they enter the arena with confidence and a style built around taking the initiative. With sharp coordination and the hunger to challenge every opponent, they are ready to prove their strength on this stage. Raise your voices for Myanmar!
The Battle of Group B. Currently in Group B, with the information that we have, Nepal is sitting comfortably with a 2-0 lead with 1 series win against Kyrgyzstan. So whoever wins this one, they'll put themselves higher in the rankings of Group B, and whoever loses this one will be at the bottom with Kyrgyzstan.
This will be the lineup for United Arab Emirates. We are starting off with Abdelaziz, Ahmed, Muhammad, Rashid, and Abdullah. They seem to be mysterious also because there's a lacking of data from online tournaments for them also. This is going to be their surprise, right? The surprise factor is going to come from them, and they have this sort of like an edge to surprise anyone who's fighting against them.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like no expectations, right? I think a lot of the teams that have, you know, are deemed the favorite or whatever, they have a lot more pressure. They need to kind of perform. But for them, hey, this is like free money for them in the sense of just being able to play out on the stage, and they're probably going to be able to surprise people here.
And to talk about surprises, we do have to check out Team Myanmar on their available roster in this tournament.
And they're going to be made up of Min, Een, Sai, Jin, and of course Zai here. And this is a squad that, again, we were talking about pressure. There's a little bit of pressure on Myanmar. They definitely need to perform because, again, all eyes on them right now.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to be able to play this much more easily compared to United Arab Emirates. And we do know that they have a lot of experience in their hands, and they should be able to do well, knowing that the hero pools from Myanmar is a lot bigger.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part about HOK, right? Like hero pools, like your depth of the knowledge of the game that pushes you further and further into the mastery of this game. But for the side of Myanmar here, rather than pressure, it's about them representing their regions, just like what UAE is doing here. If you can win, that's the best part about this game.
I mean, if everyone can win. I think that, you know, nobody wants to come in here being like, hey, you know what? I just want some lessons. I just want to, you know, learn from them. Everybody's looking for that win, right? Everybody wants to kind of move on to the main event. Obviously, only 9 teams can out of the 20. So I think that going in, yes, of course, you want to win, but you got to do it. And this game is not easy for some of these teams to kind of overcome some of the obstacles that they might have.
Yeah, knowing United Arab Emirates, we do know they are going to be very mysterious, that we want to see a lot of hero picks coming from them that's maybe unorthodox. That's something that we're not used to seeing all this while. We have a lot of heroes still untouched comparing to what we've seen yesterday. We've been rotating around more or less the same heroes because we're not using global bans.
Exactly, right? Like, we're not using global bans, so whatever that you find being useful or worked out for you in Game 1 or Game 2, you can always repeat the usage of that specific hero compared to our usual HOK Esports global tournaments.
And there's kind of a little bit more expectations in terms of the draft as well, because this is where you've got a set template, right? You pick your best 5 and go. Yeah, some of them might be banned or whatever, but at least you have an idea. I think that, you know, it's kind of a faster pace because in terms of the draft pool, you don't need as many heroes readily available.
I agree, and it looks like Myanmar decided to take out Guan Yu and Dolia, while UAE decided to take Arlie and Mai Sharnui. Both are very annoying heroes. And starting off with Ukyo Tachibana, you cannot go wrong with this hero. It's versatile, it has sustainability from his ultimate.
And he's also really aggressive in the early game here. Give him an inch and he will take a mile towards you and take all your camps if you do falter here. A very strong snowball hero that has been picked up as the first pick coming in from Team Myanmar. And for UAE, a classic mid-roam duo here. Xiao Qiao and also the Lian Po has been locked in.
Just a lot of control, at least from the side of UAE, right? The Xiao and the Lian Po really setting it up. The Zhang Fei in return, very similar to the Lian Po in that sense of just having that big ult at the right moment. Plus now you're rounding it out with the Fatih. Myanmar's lineup, at least to me, looks a little bit more balanced in this first phase.
Yeah, to be fair, both sides of the team does have a very tanky hero, such as Lian Po and Zhang Fei. So we can expect that both teams will not be taking a lot more tanky heroes after this, unless if they want more team fights. So UAE does have the choice to take Atta if they want, because they do have the Renji in their hands, assuming that Myanmar will not have any heroes that's going to be using Doomsday, but they already have Fateh to deal with any heroes which is HP based.
It's a really good late game pick, right, Fatih? One of his strong clash lane picks here that is really good in excelling in those mid to late game team fights here. As you can see, coming into the second phase is about banning what's not been picked by both teams here. For Myanmar, they have yet to pick a mage here. That's why you can see UAE, they're putting a lot of focus on towards the side of Sai, especially in the mid lane pool.
You want to target him as much as possible. I mean, you got the Zachao, you're looking for more of just like the wave clear, then to go and rotate to the other lanes, potentially getting a pick off. But the D-Renje for me is one that you kind of need to look into. I think that it's the all tried and true. It's a very balanced hero.
True.
It's not the flashiest, but it will get the job done for you.
The damage is a lot, especially if he already has his Sparkforge Dagger and Doomsday. That's going to be melting any tanks in front of him. But I think slightly the downside of Sparkforge and Doomsday is that it's not built to fight against fragile heroes, squishy heroes. It's built for tankiness.
Yeah, I think it's more on doing mixed damage so that the tanks cannot really itemize against you. Percentage health damage from Doomsday, which does physical damage, and then Sparkforge, which does magical damage here. So it's more difficult for a tank to actually deal against like mixed damage output here. But fortunately, coming in for the side of UAE, they do have the Atta, as you mentioned, locked in here. This Atta is a very smart pick. It can either go Clash or Jungle depending on the situation that arises.
I think meta-wise, the Atta has been like 100%, like almost in every single series. It has just so much impact, a lot of the flexibility that you're talking about, even in terms of role. It just provides so much, and it can be very disruptive. But the UAE side, yes, they have a lot of crowd control, they have a lot of, stuns and all that, but it seems like they really need a little bit more damage for me to be really comfortable with this lineup.
I agree. They do need a lot more damage than this right now. Still waiting for what their jungler is going to pick. But for Myanmar, they chose to go with Zia and Chano. Zia is going to be very interesting because it's a long-range mid laner and he can sanctify anyone to give extra EXP and levels.
Oh yeah, you can break the level 15 cap for both Zia and also the target that he looks to put his sanctification on. I like the balance coming in from Myanmar, right? You have strong laners coming in from both Fatih and also the Channel, and then Ukyo Tachibana facilitates that early game. But when late game hits, that's where both the side lane plus the mid lane starts coming online. For UAE, we're waiting for the last pick here. It will be a lane. I think this is the first lane that we have in this tournament.
Haven't seen it. Yeah, I think that this is going to be the first time. Has that potential. It definitely jumps to the back line, makes it very easy. So the Chano needs to be a little bit careful in terms of his positioning. The Zia also potentially get jumped on. So that's the thought process, at least for that one.
Ooh, this is a very aggressive pick from UAE for sure. It's going to be a very early game meta for them. The fact that Atas has been picked and he is going to be playing jungle with Atta. So I do believe that there's going to be a slight bit of advantage right there for early game especially, but they have to end game early, Saki.
Well, it's for them to actually perform in the game because this is the second match of day 2 in the Asian Games qualifiers here. Blue team, we have Myanmar, and red team, we have United Arab Emirates duking it out for a spot in Group B.
Thank you so much, Sagi, as we go into this one. Second series of the day, game number 1. And I think that Myanmar, and it looks like both of them are like, hey, we're going to just kind of, prioritize the mid lane as much as possible. Let's put the pressure on and just kind of rotate around, use the gold sharing to our advantage. But again, we want to be aggressive, especially early.
Yeah, the rotations are very important from early game to make sure that they have an advantage before the war at the Tyrant, because the team fight is going to be happening at the Tyrant. Is so important for them to get the advantage for movement speed, for the extra damage. Usually that's what most teams are going to be doing. And we do know that having Atta in their hands, they have to finish the game early. They cannot prolong for too long because having Chano in Myanmar, they're going to be focusing on the game.
Yeah, Xin is definitely the guy that they need to kind of focus on. Maybe limit as much as possible. Plus, Min, he can be a late game monster as well. So they have their plethora of options. Plus, you have Sai that can kind of help accelerate those guys as much as possible. So again, you were talking about early game. Yes, I 100% agree with you from UAE. But who from that side really needs to step up to just make sure that they carry this game from UAE?
I think it's supposed to be Abdullah and Abdelaziz. Both of them have to initiate fights, dive into towers non-stop. It seems like Abdelaziz is going to go down first, but he managed to run away just in the nick of time.
Yeah, just a sliver of life. That's all you need, right? I mean, it was very close, right? But you were calling him out. You're like, he's got to have a great game. And then he just gets gone on. So, okay, like hold it on him. Like, let the guys play him out, right? It's not even 2 minutes in.
Well, yeah, he meets his death from above. His level 4 is still not there yet because of the pressure coming in from the jungler of Myanmar. It seems like Rashid and Abdullah is going to be sticking together for a while. And seems like Abdullah is not going to be rotating with his mid lane. So he's going to be missing out a little bit on the gold sharing thing.
Yeah, and now the mid lane, this is kind of be the priority from Myanmar, right? I think that this is a smart play. Let Sai and, just kind of rotate around, ensuring that they do, I mean, they're going to do a universal law, potentially stealing. Any sort of steal that you can get is going to be gravy.
Yeah, he managed to steal it quite easily, I might add. 900 gold in front of UAE is going to be a little bit of a problem for UAE. They really need to stick more and try to clear the jungle together and then be ready for the next team fight that might happen down here. Knowing that Sai already have his ultimate, Umbrella Up is going to be a big problem for them.
Yeah, Abdullah taking a decent amount of damage. Did not expect Ian to kind of make that rotation. So they're going to be taking a decent amount. In Myanmar right now, I like the way that they're playing. They're playing aggressively, putting the pressure on, and they've got a 1K lead because of that.
And it seems like Abdelaziz is going to be focusing on his laning phase first. He's not going to be rotating too early. But look at this. This is very helpful for Aeon because Min is going to start to reduce the HP of the jungle and then let Aeon just come by and just smite him.
Yeah, Min doing a great job. I mean, he's got the level advantage over Abdelaziz. He's been helping Int as well as just farming. So just a lot of value. It's the little things in the early game of ensuring that you're coming out slightly ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be benefiting them in the long run. So all these small little things really matters a lot. And UAE is going to start to group up around the top area. Are they going to be able to maybe get some eliminations before they rotate down to the Tyrant? Seems like they're going to be playing much more safer for Myanmar because they're going to be focusing on the objective.
You don't need to play super aggressive as Myanmar. I mean, as long as the lanes are being pushed out, you've gotten tremendous value. You're up about 2K at this point. The Tyrant is going to be the first target. They smite that one out. They get that for essentially for free. Yeah. And they're going to look to contest. Abdullah just trying to deal with that spike tail, but he just dodges it. He barely stays alive. The Tremor Smash is not going to really hit anything but those wolves, so not a lot of value as Abdullah is getting targeted here. Needs to be dodging the Universal Law as well.
Yeah, but they're still trying to steal this Azure Golem as fast as they can, but it seems like Min is a little bit overextended. He managed to use Flash to run away, and we do know that the 2,000 gold lead is going to be helping them a lot in the long run. As long as they don't overextend too much, they will be doing fine. But the existence of Sai itself in the game playing Zia is just so annoying. Abdullah has been having a lot of problems trying to run away from him.
Yeah, the Zia, for me, I mean, it's a hero where when you're, ahead, it's great. Right? But when you're behind, that's kind of when you see the weaknesses of the hero. It doesn't have as much value, but this burst ramp doing a decent amount. Min is going to be on the tower, the Death at Sunset, everything in the kitchen sink being thrown at him, and he just eventually falls, but it looks like it's going to be first strike. But at what cost? They've lost 2 members as well. The Revenge Tour was making their way to the top lane.
The punishment trying to help him out really benefits Myanmar right now. Ahmed and Abdullah is going to go down, but it seems like they're going to get one more. I thought that team fight was over, but they managed to just get one more elimination.
Yeah, they actually had to hunt him down. Abdelaziz thought he was safe as well, but under the tower, Ian with a double strike, taking him down. And this is why Myanmar are so scary.
What damage was that? That was insane. That was a lot of damage, and he actually managed to sustain his HP quite a bit. We're still waiting for Sai to collect his madness to get this Umbrella Outburst very soon before maybe they could try to get the Overlord after this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely on the target list, but they've already got the mid-T1, everything going the way of Myanmar. They've just been very aggressive. The way that they've been able to kind of, again, punish the top lane is like, yeah, you gave up first strike, but we'll take the next 4 kills.
Seems like they're going to try to focus down on Sai for the moment, but the Umbrella Opus is still being kept by him. Is he going to try to force a fight here? That's what we want to see. Also, the Scepter Reverberation has been done by Xiao Chao. It's going to be a bit of a problem for Myanmar because the damage is going to be very, very high from Xiao Chao, especially when Abdullah is tanking the damage up front, and he's going to be free hitting from far.
Yeah, and I like it how Min is just split pushing. He doesn't need to be in the team fights at all time. He needs his own farm, so any sort of space that he's getting is going to be great. And now UAE, all of them are grouping. This means it's less value across the map. You're not able to secure as much, and now they're on the run because they're getting a little bit outnumbered on this one. But the value that Myanmar are getting, because they're okay, now they get the burst off, Abdullah down.
Wow, what a damage coming from Ukyo. Ian is very comfortable right now, but they're still going to try to dive into the tower. A very great Bright Outburst.
Yeah, Min just going on the side. That Sunset, maybe he stays alive. Rashid, he's going to be picked off as well, but now with the knock-up on that meteor kill, but not enough. Abdelaziz will survive, but 3 members down from UAE.
Ian's going to be focusing down on the T2 mid lane, and he's going to be rotating towards the top. Ahmed has still not been able to find a space for him to farm, and they're all going to go down on him to make sure that there's no more jungler in the UAE.
So he got the buff, and then he just gave up the buff because he just got picked off. I mean, he got hit by that punishment from Saipi, ensuring that he doesn't get away. I mean, nothing is for free at this point. Myanmar, with this map control, this aggression, this game 1 has been definitely in their favor.
I think Ian's going to be diving into the tower and get a free distraction towards the tower for free. 7,000 gold in front for Myanmar is a big number within 7 minutes, right? This is going to be helping them a lot to push and what might potentially be the final team fight after this. It all depends on Sai if he's ready to use his Umbrella Obus or not to open out the team fight.
Yeah, and now he's thinking about it, but Rashik has bursted on the side, a little out of position. The Umbrella Outburst is going to be flawless as they go in. The Tremor Smash is doing a little bit of work, but he's going to fall. The Death at Sunset, they want to go with a meteor kill. He's not going to be enough, and Abdelaziz gets picked off. 3 members down. Myanmar looking to just take this game 1.
5 of them is still up, but double strike has been given to Ian. There's still Ahmed in the base trying to defend, but can he pull it off with just him alone? There's only 2 minions up top. top, maybe a couple in the middle, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, no ult as well. Ahmed, he's just going to be knocked around. He's going to be picked off. Rashid is just respawned, but it's not going to be enough, and it looks like game one going to Myanmar.
Congratulations, Myanmar, for being able to get this first game with such ease.
And that was a dominant performance thus far coming in from Myanmar's player and on that Ukyo Tachibana. Very demanding early game, utilizing the full extent of the Ukyo Tachibana burst in capturing a lot of single eliminations on his own self.
Well, there you go. I mean, we were kind of like, had eyes on Myanmar. We're like, okay, how good are they going to be? What level are they going to bring? Well, you see exactly what's going on. They are ready to play as they came out firing in game one.
But there's still a lot of proactiveness coming in from the UAE squad. We did see a very strong dive potential coming in from Abdelaziz and then the Elaine. Everyone just piling on towards the Myanmar for that one solo elimination. But it comes down to how you play the later stages of the game. The tower pushes, the objective starts here. I do think that Myanmar definitely had more of an advanced approach coming in towards this segment.
Yeah, I agree. I think Myanmar has been doing great and they are quite confident, comfortable with the rotations. I feel that Ukyo has been doing very great. Usually Ukyo really have to be safe, right? Because he's an assassin, his HP can really go down quite quick. But it seems like he's extremely comfortable using his Sabertooth, making sure that all of the sustainability skill sets has been maxed out.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, I mean, they first picked it, right? So they had to have been comfortable. They wanted this because they were going to set the tone. I think that that's the biggest thing. Whenever you pick first, that is the #1 hero. He's going to have the most impact. That's why they wanted it.
Exactly, right? That's why, like, Ukyo Tachibana in this Asian Games version has so much priority in the sense, it's not only about damage, it's also about how strong his mobility is, how fast he can clear the jungle camps, how he can take away from the enemy. That's why it makes it such a good pick, especially on the blue side.
I was actually hoping for Atta to be much more aggressive early on because Atta is one of the few heroes that doesn't have any mana. He doesn't really use mana and it all depends on the cooldown. So if the skill set hits, he will do a lot of sustainability. Any sort of damage from basic attack, ultimate, first skill, second skill will replenish his HP.
Yeah, if you're looking at the draft, you're thinking, oh, they've got a lot of good ults, but it's kind of like they were staggered a bit, like they weren't really kind of helping one another. Sure. And so that's kind of where they kind of struggled because, again, they weren't able to kind of have that wombo combo to really isolate anybody.
Yeah, they just didn't really have the chance to pull off a great team fight coming in from the UAE side because Myanmar was just finding so much opportunities in those river fights, in those solo pickoffs, in allowing the strength of Ant on that Ukyo Tachibana to fully bloom into fruition here. I've got to say, 704 on that Ukyo Tachibana, almost 8.45k goal in a sub-10 minute game is actually a really fantastic performance coming in from the Myanmar jungle.
That's a lot, actually. And also, when we were talking about early game composition from UAE and then late game composition from Myanmar, apparently Myanmar really compensated that lack of early game capability by utilizing Zia at max. He was chasing everyone down from the beginning, chasing Lianpo. Whoever is in front of him will be hit a lot.
Yeah, and also Ian, I mean, look at his net worth, 8,500. Like double, literally almost everybody on the UAE side. I think he had a great game, was a 704. He's got to be the clear MVP in this one.
Yeah, fantastic performance coming in from Myanmar in game one itself. And I like how you brought up the fact of the Zuya because looking at the fact that UAE had like 2.5 tanks, including the Elaine, Zuya, when you land the burn effect on the enemy, you also reduce their armor and magic resist.
Take away everything, right? I think that he was able to kind of set things up. I mean, he had like second highest damage. Yeah, he didn't have no kills, but he definitely softened it up, made it so much easier for Ian to kind of just clean up when he needed to. Because again, once they're lower and you know the Ukyo is going in, he's gonna just basically just like decimate everybody.
Yeah, the first skill of Zia is going to be slowing everyone down, and it really works well for them. We were expecting also that having Alain and Atta and also Xiao Chao is going to be helping a lot towards the early game, but apparently maybe the rotation has to be a lot more close formation rather than spread out throughout the entire map too far away. The fact that Min is always on the side lanes, and most of the time Myanmar has been doing team fights with just 4 of their heroes, and they're still winning those team fights.
Oh yeah, it really comes down to the early game power power spike coming in from Ant on the Ukyo Tachibana and how the team is able to move around his playstyle here. Mainly talking about Sai P and also Sai H, which has been setting up most of these team fights really well coming in from Myanmar.
Yeah, also, I don't want to arrow him, but Rashid just got picked off early. They couldn't really fight. That draft revolves around his damage just being there so that he's able to sustain and able to take people out. Once he goes down, all of the crowd control in the world it's not going to save you. You need the guy, the farm laner, to really win these team fights. Not able to do it, and you see it in this gold graph here.
It's a give and take thing, right? You need crowd control, control the team fight, but you also need the DPS to be ready and available to dish out the sufficient damage on towards the enemy team. So for this exact moment, as a team per se, Myanmar is definitely miles ahead of UAE, at the very least in this game one, because we see in this gold graph, that's a 8-minute 45 seconds game with an 11,000 lead towards the Myanmar side.
Definitely more mature in terms of gameplay, in terms of how they position themselves and how Zia is consistently in front of them, poking everyone, making sure that the farm lane can have a lot of space to farm freely and hitting all those last hits to make sure that he's maximizing all the gold available to him.
I mean, 8 minutes and 45 seconds. It really did seem like UAE were able to really get settled into this game. This was the first good attempt. They tried to dive onto the tower a little too deep, right? Yeah, they got first strike, but then here come the cavalry. Literally everybody and their moms are there in the top lane, just taking everybody out. You really had no chance, and they made them pay there.
It's like a kindergarten visit, you know? It's like time to pick up your kids. I think you definitely know more than me regarding that. So for me, this is definitely how we factor in the entire map movement. One guy getting caught out coming in from Myanmar, and the other 4 members, they immediately come to the aid here. And these are the moments where Sai H and Sai P were so good in setting up those team fights for Ant, Xin, and Min to actually pick up those easy, quick eliminations.
Oh, Sai H, with all of these amazing ultimates coming from him, all of the young face that we've seen in the Asian Games qualifiers has been performing very, very well. And it's one of the best performing roaming hero that we've seen so far.
Totally agree.
With probably the highest percentage of win rate, I might add.
It has so much value, right? It just provides so much. The team fight, the ultimate, you know, the Umbrella Outburst is so good, right? It just sets everything up. Plus, it almost baits people out. Everybody goes on him, and it just makes it easy because it sets it up for that perfect ult.
Yeah, the perfect ult, right? Because that play right now that you just mentioned here, everything is set up by the team, but who kickstarted it is Ant. Definitely this guy, 7-0-4, 26% damage dealt on the Ukyo Tachibana here, while also holding 26.3% of the total goal from the team. Not only is he scavenging for takedowns, he's also gathering all the resources here from the hands of the UAE jungle.
He's so fast. He's so annoying. It's very hard to catch him. I can see that the UAE was struggling to touch him even. The fact that he can just go in and delete someone and make sure that he can get out without being touched, that is something that you really need to learn how to do.
Yeah, and actually something that I've just learned is that, hey, if you want to be MVP, you need to pose and strike a #1. Because for myself, all my poses, I do 5. And so like I usually end up in like 5th place or like last place, depending on where in the game. But I think that, yeah, I got to start doing the #1 in my own pick.
I think that's fact. That's a fact with evidence here, because I do remember Chami Nazaria from yesterday. Yeah. He was also pointing a 1.
Okay.
So that actually makes sense coming in from Holler.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, right?
Called manifesting?
Yeah. This is, yeah. They know. They got to be the #1. I think that this is the biggest piece, right? It sets it up. I've been doing my profile picks wrong this entire time.
All this while you've been raising all 5 fingers.
Yeah. I was like,
that's why I'm #5.
Oh, wait.
But definitely one of the great plays coming from Myanmar. I feel that I think that Ukyo has been a good pick. And it shows how confident they are with the hero.
And it's on standard ban pick, right? You can still revisit back to the pick itself if you want to. And for those who are wondering, where are we holding this exact event for the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for Honor of Kings? It's definitely at the Marriott Pataling Jaya here. It's our official venue sponsor and also hotel partner here. So players, talents, and all the coaching staff from across the globe all stay here for the Asian Games Qualifiers. So we bid our thank you once again to our official hotel sponsors.
Yeah, just a big shout out to them. I mean, they've been very hospitable as well as everybody here. So the food has been great as well. So being a foodie myself, I've enjoyed it here. So yeah, they have the #1 food. I think that's
there we
the
go. Number one on food. Very smart, very smart.
Now, that's like everything that we saw in Game 1, right? For UAE and also Myanmar, there seems to be a large skill discrepancy between the two teams. It's the cruel thing about esports, right? It's always about skill, always about mastery towards the game. So for UAE, what's your expectation for them in Game 2?
I think that's a little bit of shell-shocked game, right? I think that they were like, okay, now we're on the stage. Whoa, like Myanmar came at them. They seemed angry almost. UAE, now they need to just calm down. They need to play their game. I think that come draft, they got to give a little bit more support. Like they need a little bit more in terms of the damage dealing and less, I would say, in terms of the crowd control. Because again, they were really lacking that in Game 1.
I think the most important thing for UAE right now is to also rotate better. They need to group up better, move together as a team. And there's no harm done if you actually rotate with your jungler, clear the jungles together with the mid lane, with the roamer, trying to maximize the gold train technique as much as possible. Also, being forever ready for what's coming up, because there might be team fights anywhere. Someone might be hiding in a brush and whatnot, but that also translates in a very good rotation if they can do it very quickly.
It's a two-way thing, right? You need the teammates to respect the jungle camps available, let the jungle full clear first, and then let him pick up the minion for the gold sharing that you mentioned, and then you look for plays on towards the crossback. When the minions meet, then maybe you look for a side lane play. Something like that. It's what we call priority. You shove first, then look for a play elsewhere.
Finally.
For UAE, they did pretty well in Game 1. They found the first blood, first strike coming in from Clash lane, but it took them too long and too many spells far deep into the tower range.
Yeah, and also going into this one, it seemed like when you're looking at that gold graph, what is that point when they were like, I think it was they were up like 1K at like the 4-minute mark or something. That is really rough. You're really behind in the early game. It's going to make your mid game much tougher to get into, right? So you got to get yourself a little bit more of a chance. How you react, again, I think it comes back to the draft. You need early game heroes to fight so that you have a fighting chance, especially early.
And I think they were on the right track. They actually went with early game heroes early on, and I think they could do the same thing here. Just maybe change the way they execute things might be a good thing too. Having Princess Frost as their first pick is also good. The fact that they can do a lot more crowd control and zoning the area.
I think it's okay, but it still doesn't solve the idea that they need early game heroes, potentially like the Byron, Ata, to actually suppress against Ant's performance on the Ukyu Tachibana. And we saw what a Guan Yu can actually do in just now's game when Yuno was playing the Guan Yu, or yesterday when we had Iqbal playing the Guan Yu. This is a very destructive pick, and we do have the Princess Frost and Liang. For me, that's a very difficult combo to actually execute. And you're against a Guan Yu, one of the premier counters of this combo.
Yeah, and actually you walk right into the trap, I would say. I mean, if anyone gets locked in, the Razor Cavalry is coming, just going to disrupt all of that. Yes, you have that Winter is here, that zoning, if you will, but this is something, even with the Lapu Lapu, the Raging Sea, it locks down, or it completely blocks us out. And plus, when Liang isn't able to get going, he falls off completely in the mid to late game.
I have faith. I think UAE might be able to pull it off, because it seems to me like maybe Liang is the only answer to fight against Guan Yu, or maybe even Ukyu, because he can capture and can be frozen by the frigid prison that coming from Princess Frost also. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, but with the Liang's control, who are you going to lock down, right? Everybody's somewhat tanky. Nobody's like that squishy that is really easy to burst, so it makes it even tougher. And this is why Myanmar's draft is looking to just counterpick everything properly here.
Which is the benefit of the red side, right? Yeah. You do see the Princess Frost, you're expecting a Liang coming out from UAE, and then here's the thing that we can simulate right now. You see the Liang ulting either of the front lines or anyone. The moment that they ult the Lapu Lapu, the Guan Yu come charging from the back line. The moment they ult the Guan Yu, the Lapu Lapu uses a long range engage to disengage for the team. So it's I would say, draft difference as of this point, at the very least for the first 3 picks.
True, and everything goes down to execution. Having Heno in their team, trying to make sure that he can poke everyone from far, if he maintains in the range mode, is going to be helping them to deal a lot of damage coming from the Myanmar. But how is UAE going to respond to this? All 4 heroes has been shown. They have to pick the last 2 heroes. I think they need someone tanky in front. It has to be a tanky jungle.
Whenever drafts happen, you're always looking for a bit of an edge. Usually it's like a 55-45%, you know, like a slight edge. It's not that much. But from what I've seen this far, with the Hano as well, I mean, you fate rewind everything. They don't have enough burst. This UAE lineup is incredibly, like, deficient in moments, and the Myanmar counters it quite a bit.
Uh-oh. That's a Giveaway.
Yeah.
That's, I think, one of our first few Giveaways that we have on the stage right now, and UAE has been bringing it up. It's one of those good heroes if you want to use it to cleanse of crowd control, and Myanmar finalizing their draft with a Marco Polo. So far, if we do view through the draft coming in from both teams, I would definitely favor Myanmar's draft more. More flexibility, more creativity on the engages here, but are we counting out UAE? No. If they can actually build that momentum with that Liang pick in the early game, find those catches after level 4 and onwards, then maybe UAE can push it to a game 3.
It all goes down to execution and having Giveaway in their team. For those who don't know, this is a hero that can actually cleanse himself from any crowd control with any skills that he's going to be using. So it might be the best going up against Guan Yu.
A decent amount of control from the side of Myanmar. I think that going into this one, I mean, I like what I see from this lineup. They have a lot of control, many different ways and avenues, and mobility to kind of get outside of the Princess Frost Winter is here. You have a lot of options, which makes it much tougher for UAE. If they want to win this game, it's right when Abdullah hits level 4 and they start ganking right away.
I agree. They need to somehow pump Abdullah to get the level as much as he can. And Abdulaziz is going to be facing against Min. It's not the best hero to go up against Guan Yu, but he can try his very best. Although looking at the bottom lane, Abdullah is going to be helping Rashid going up against Zin in the Marco Polo, which is going to be quite annoying because Marco Polo has a lot of mobility himself.
Okay, so one thing that UAE did well was they shored up some of their weakness. They didn't go all in on this early game Liang Princess Frost type of combo. They have the Lady Soon, the Dian Wei also can be monstrous heroes come late game, right?
Yep.
So I think that they just need to kind of weather the storm. Maybe they get a bit of an advantage, start things off, get some pickoffs, give themselves a chance. And then Myanmar also, like, you know, if they kind of falter in that sense, then Rashid and Ahmed will be able to clean house.
I agree. And what's very important is for Rashid to get all of his itemizations, because Lady Sun is considered as one of the latest heroes in late game, I mean, where he can get all of his critical damage in, and it's going to be really problematic for Sai, for Min. No one can touch Lady Stone if he gets his itemization. It all depends on what they're going to be doing during the early game.
Yeah, and I mean, they have the Guan Yu, the Lapu Lapu on the side of Myanmar, right? So they have a decent amount, but Ahmed is in a bad spot. It's not going to be able to survive, and he is one of the win conditions. Him going down first right there, absolute travesty to start this one.
I agree. Abdullah haven't have his ultimate yet, so he's going to try pushing Muhammad towards the team, and it seems like he's going to go down just like that.
Yeah, no chance. These heroic charges. Look at Min. The Fever Barrage is going to be used as well. Abdullah running for his life. He's going to run back to the library. He's got glasses and he's reading a book. Okay, anyway.
Okay, I get it. You don't have to explain it.
You know, because it seemed like there was an awkward pause, like, ha ha ha, pity laugh.
How am I going to go through the entire day with you, Hunter?
It's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day. It's very fun, very fun. 1,000 goal in front from Myanmar already. With just 2 minutes and 35 seconds in, trying to steal with the Tachibana again. Azure Golem is going to be his.
Yeah, and a two-man stun right there, just kind of going with the Raging Sea, just like a going-away presence, and it looks like they didn't really take anything at this point. Myanmar exerting their dominance, dare I say, in this game early.
And Rashid is doing the right thing. He's going to be rotating with the Frost and also the Liang. I think it's going to be much more safer for him. And now they're going to go and clear up the minion and bottom lane together. I think this is smart because they do know that they're lacking behind in terms of gold and they cannot go in alone anywhere else anymore.
Okay, well, I do agree with you. Yes, they should be going to ganks. Abdullah just hit level 4, has that control, right? This is the opportunity, but they just walked into the minion wave in the bottom. Like, they showed themselves and they realized that, hey, there are 3 of them. So what does Myanmar do? They rotate outside. You know, Zin is going to play even safer. He understands that Liang might be there. So they're going to basically avert that crisis.
I agree. Showing their faces in the bottom lanes might cause Abdulaziz to be the collateral in this situation, but it seems like both sides of the team is trying to peek and see where everyone is.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of knew Abdullah is going to show himself. He goes right for the control, but the burst ram and the Razor Cavalry on top of that, and just like that, everything negated. But it looks like Min went a little too far. They're too low, but the Fever Barrage on the side. Oh, he's doing it, and it looks like they're going to tear it up as they take 4 members down from UAE.
Tremendous amount of damage coming from the Myanmar. Is so ready to respond to any movements that has been made by UAE. Actually, they started very well from Min, pushing them one after the other, but they did manage to get Min down. Look at this. Trying to stack them up all into one place, helping outside to just keep on throwing his spears, but this help coming from Zin from far using the favorite barrage is so effective.
That was like straight out of a movie. Like those, like the 3 criminals are running away,
Slow
quote unquote,
motion.
and then they're going, and then Zin coming out of the side like a superhero he is, ensuring that he clears them up, right? Just what a great play by Zin.
I think that's the movie that they watched from the Korean team. Oh, that makes sense. They learn from Myanmar. Oh, I see. Sorry.
It's a foreign film. It wasn't.
Zin is still up there alone. He's going to be pushing the tower with no problems whatsoever. But the UAE actually managed to secure the Tyrant, which is quite important. It seems like Min is really trying to capture someone. He is zoning that area very well.
Actually, UAE did a great job. I mean, they snuck it under. I mean, they were behind, but they were willing to risk it, get themselves a bit of an opportunity here. And taking that Tyrant away, actually pretty key for UAE as they were starting to fall really behind.
Spears has been thrown by Sai. It's very painful if it hits the stacks, but look at the damage coming from Rashid. It seems like he's getting a little bit more confident now, trying to deal at least some damage towards the roam from the Myanmar side. But it seems like the tier 2 tower is going to be a bit of a problem for them to defend.
Yeah, Abdullah down. I mean, you're down a member at this point. And we were talking about how the Liang really falls off in the mid to late game. We're still in the early game, and he's kind of, you know, not done a whole lot. And now Rashid, the Raging Sea, everybody coming in, and he ain't there to clean house. Rashid down for the count.
Yeah, I have not much to say. It's going to be a big problem for him to run away from them. We know that these heroes are very controlling the area. Having one Guan Yu is already a big problem. Now having Lapu Lapu at the back with the Raging Sea, there's not much anyone can do. 6,000 gold in front for Myanmar within 6 minutes. This is a huge amount of gold economy for them.
Absolutely huge at this point. Ahmed, Rashid, those are the win conditions. They've died twice already apiece. It's only 6 minutes in. They need to be farming, right? They want to be left untouched and just constantly just getting themselves a chance. But Myanmar has not given any space. Look at Min with his massive damage at the top of the list.
This is actually very rare to see a Clash Lane hero having the most damage out of everyone, because he actually managed to use his ultimate towards everyone, and all of his skills and basic attack enhance actually worked.
Yeah, and now the Fever Barrage right on top of this. Rashid is already going to be down, and it looks like they've gotten 3 members. Myanmar surgically taking them down. You step out. Oh, Muhammad with the flash. That was a bit of a misclick there. The double strike going the way of Int, and it seemed like this is going to be the end as the Myanmar take the mid T3. The Death and Sunset for one last time. Is he able to survive? Maybe he gets a pick off, but no. Unfortunately for him, that's going to be an ace, and Myanmar in a hurry are going to take game 2 in the series.
Congratulations, Myanmar, managing to get 2 points within 7 minutes for game 2.
That was the second fastest game that we had so far in the Asian Games qualifiers. Yesterday, it was 7 minutes, 15 seconds coming in from Team Indonesia, and today it's even faster, almost even faster coming in from Myanmar.
Wow, this is such a fast game. There's nothing much to say. Their gameplay is very mature.
Yeah, very mature, very experienced, I say, with the way that they're able to move. Everything was done with purpose, right? When they going for the gank attempt, they ensure that they get it. The conversion rate, very high by Myanmar. Really well played series.
Yeah, smiles on the faces here coming in from both teams here. UAE coming in as the underdogs, coming in as a new region in the HOK Esports global scene. They're definitely learning a lot from Myanmar, which is such a experienced region coming in towards this tournament.
Yes, and I think it's going to be very helpful for them going down into more of these group games, because each game they're going to be learning, and for sure they'll be watching the rest of the matches that's going to be happening throughout the day, throughout the rest of the week.
I mean, look at them. They're so jubilant right there with their win. Clearly well-deserved. Understanding what the assignment and what they needed to do. They closed this one out in a hurry. Second fastest game. Props to this team. They were really well prepared.
I'm gonna have to check back my facts here. Was it 7 minutes and 19 seconds for Indonesia? Because for Myanmar, that was 7 minutes 16 seconds here.
Oh.
It's either
might be
my memory. Yes, might be fastest
here.
So I have to fact check myself real quick later on.
But it's very interesting, right? How do they play this now? The way they rotate together, the way they make sure all the crowd control really hits. It's really hard to react from what has been doing by Myanmar.
Yeah, just really well played. I was kind of, I mean, when you're in a bit of a hurry, apparently you want to go to lunch or whatever it is, you just got to get your job done and just kind of move on.
It's like what you say. They probably have some lunch plans and they have to rushing towards to, and they definitely showed a dominating performance against UAE to back the 2-0 win. And right now, if I'm not mistaken here, they are currently in the grouping alongside with, hang on a moment, Group B. So with a 2-0, they're tied currently first place with Nepal. Myanmar and Nepal tied first place.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to pick between Nepal and Myanmar. Both teams are showing very good performance. And I think that there's a lot to be learned from these two teams.
Yeah. I think that one is going to be a very competitive series. I think that both of those squads are going to be up to the task. But as we go into the post game here, I mean, Myanmar right now, there's a lot of, I mean, a single death from Min. How dare you, right? In a flawless game, how dare you, you get eliminated, Min?
I guess the Asian dad is back. we can see definitely an amazing gameplay coming from Min. Min shows up. Everyone goes to chaos from the side of UAE. There's nothing that they can do, even though probably we were expecting for the power word to be used by Liang towards Guan Yu, but it did not happen that way.
You can see the priority coming in from Myanmar's first phase draft. You have the Guan Yu, you have the Lapu Lapu, and also Ukyo Tachibana. All these three heroes did an amazing job in setting up team fights for Xin and also Sai P in those upcoming few moments here. Like the first few fights that we actually saw was Min flanking with the heroic charge, finding multiple members, and then Xin coming in with the Marco Polo with the Fever Barrage and picking up the few eliminations that he got. I think it was a triple strike in the bottom red side.
Yeah, and it comes back to just like how you deal with like a Guan Yu, right? You need to space yourself, you need to get that vision, understand where he's going to be. It seemed like UAE were just diving or trying to go for gank attempts without the proper vision. They didn't know the numbers, they didn't know where Min was at times, and they got caught out. And this is a lesson that they're going to learn apparently the hard way.
Also, as what Horror mentioned earlier on, the fact that they show their faces into the map in front of the minions actually helped Myanmar to rotate away from them, which sort of backfired the whole idea of moving together. I think the art of going in, trying to catch someone, they really have to learn how to play around the fog and also the brushes.
Correct. You need to make sure that you actually have vision, especially when you are against a Guan Yu. Yeah. You need two things. Number one, you need someone to mark him and make sure that the person marking him has the crowd control to stop this Guan Yu. Number two, you need vision as well. Once you establish the marking ability, you also simultaneously get vision, which gives your carries such as Rashid on the Lady Sun or Mohammed and Abdullah on the Princess Liang Frost combo more room to actually shine before they get ruptured by the Sai H on the Raging Sea ultimate from the Lapu Lapu, or a great flank coming in from mid.
Yeah, for me it was that that fight in the mid lane, right? When they were both from brush to brush. It was like Red Rover, and like it seemed like UAE was trying to make a play. They saw one guy that was out, and he just kind of rushed out. Abdullah tried to go for the control, but they didn't know the numbers, and they got completely jumped. If they waited a bit, they would have had a much better time.
That was very difficult by them because that goes back to drafting phase, right? That we say like, okay, Princess Frost Liang, very decent combo, but once you meet it into a tank roam with engaged capabilities like Lian Po, Lapu Lapu, Zhang Fei, with a Guan Yu, the moment you actually power control someone with the Liang ultimate, the immediate disengage comes through by the other person. So it's a really difficult game for UAE from draft to finish.
Yeah, I think the lack of tankiness from their team really affects their vision a lot because they have no one to be sent out forward to check from brush to brush. I feel like maybe if they have at least one, just a minor little bit more tankier for them to have a better vision, it would really help UAE to make their decision making better. For Liang to move around, to find his target, okay guys, let's go here, let's go there, but they can't make that decision because they have no tank.
And also, it just back to the draft, right? The Guan Yu was picked first, second and third in the entire draft.
Yeah.
And then you picked the Liang on top of that because you went the Princess Frost. You were all in at that point, right? And going in with the Liang to kind of set that up, it's like, hey, that's the counter pick. You should not be going into this. It's a trap.
And we can see exactly what went down, right? Like you can see in the early game, it's 3v3 towards the mid lane. Here, the first damage coming from Ant Ukitachi Bana in capitalizing Ahmed. And this exact play led to this moment where Min was hyper mobile. And this was the moment you mentioned, power control on towards the Hano, and the immediate disengage coming in from Ant SciH, and also Min in finding the beautiful moment here. And once again, Zin comes up, swoops of a triple strike, easy peasy coming in from Myanmar in this game too.
This is exactly like a movie. The way they all come in one by one, doing their job, making sure that they contribute something into the team fight is phenomenal. And the way somehow Rashid has been left alone down here is very unfortunate for him. There's nothing he can do.
Oh, just look at that engage coming in from both the Lapu Lapu and also Min here. Just finding the perfect angle in disrupting the backline coming in from UAE.
Just a completely dominant game by Myanmar. I think that they were able to just outplay it. I mean, the draft definitely gave them the edge, but then going into this game, you were thinking like, oh, how could they do it? And Myanmar was flawless. I mean, I jokingly said that Min was, he died once, but he's going to be the MVP here. And the way he did it, the one time he did die, he set it up for Zin to make that Fever Barrage play.
And that's what we call a sacrifice, making sure that his team can really benefit from whatever he's doing. 23% damage and 29% damage taken.
Yeah, I only like sacrifices when it's the other people on my team.
Like, you like to be the one receiving the benefits of the sacrifice.
Exactly.
You don't want to be the one that, goes down and you can't be part of the team.
Let me explain on this. He came as a roamer at first, then he converted to a Clash lane. Okay. So he got tired of sacrificing for his team.
For the record, we honor the person that gets sacrificed, okay? It's not like we just we don't write songs about him.
So that's why you switch roles, because you want to be sung. Okay. We have to find some cape to put behind our friend right here.
Exactly. But you can definitely give props over to Min on this Guan Yu pick. He didn't get any takedowns, but the most important part of his presence in the game is never about getting the eliminations, but more on setting up the team fight coming in for the remaining members here. So what if he actually gets taken down in that one attempt? But the commitment that he did, the presence that he had in those team fights, that was just really amazing coming in from Min.
The control.
Correct.
Right? He caught them off guard so many times. The Razor Cavalry is like shepherding 3 people at a time, just in a bad spot. The repositioning is key. And what you were talking about the first series about the Quay, right? Just how amazing it was. Repositioning. Same idea with the Guan Yu, but he's able to do it with multiple heroes. It's, again, just UAE got caught out multiple times in this one.
Not repositioning one person, but the entire team, which is a lot more devastating, to be honest. And I think the way they're doing it is immensely great. I think that they should keep doing what they're doing. They know how to really make good use of the Guan Yu. I'm not surprised if any other region going up against them is going to take Guan Yu out.
Yeah, I think Guan Yu has been a really hard tournament pick thus far. And I really want to see who Mara has on the interview stand to see the fantastic performance that Myanmar had actually delivered us. So Mara, if you may, please show us who you have on the interview desk.
Record-breaking performance from Team Myanmar. Fastest game so far. You beat yesterday's record and you finished the game 7 minutes 16 seconds. How do you feel about beating the record yesterday?
Bro, many record 9 minutes 16 seconds break လိုက်တာ bro ဘယ်လိုခံစားရလဲ
ပြောပါကိုယ့်ရဲ့ပထမဆုံး international first time offline tournament မှာတင် record က break နိုင်နေဆိုတော့
So he said he's happy. This is his first time international offline tournament, and then he break the record, and he's very happy and he's very proud of it.
You know, a lot of people are talking about your Ukyo Tachibana's performance. You were MVP in game number 1. In fact, lots of impressive solo kills. What gives you the confidence to commit to those one-on-one opportunities?
Bro, game 1 မှာ MVP ရတယ်
At Nana Yojak Chin, he became a member.
အဲ့လို solo kill ကိုတယောက်တည်း comment လုပ်ဖို့အတွက်ဘယ်ကနေ confidence ရတယ်လေပေါ့
အဓိကကတော့ကျွန်တော်ဒီ hero ဆော့လာလဲတော်တော်ကြာကြီးကိုလက်ကိုလည်းယုံနေဆိုတော့ဒီတိုင်းမှာ confidence ရတာ
So he's been playing this character for so long, and then he has confidence on himself.
Oh yes, a lot of the solo kills that he did actually is needing to know the hero's limits. Now, Team Myanmar barely gave any room for UAE to breathe. How do you guys have that level of control with the map without overcommitting?
Bro, တပွဲလုံးမကြုံဘဲနဲ့ဘယ်လို control လုပ်သွားတာလဲပေါ့
ဒီတိုင်းပဲကျွန်တော်တို့စိတ်ရေးပဲထားဆော့ပြီးတော့နီးပြပြောတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲ live ဆော့လိုက်ရအောင်ပါတယ်
He just keep calm and then play as the coach told him to.
Listening to coach is always a good thing. And keeping calm even on your first time here on the international stage, very impressive. For sure, everybody in Myanmar, they're so happy with your dominance today. What would you like to say to Myanmar and to everybody watching?
မြန်မာပြည်သက်တွေနဲ့ကြည့်နေလူတွေအကုန်လုံးဗာပြောချင်တယ်
မြန်မာပြည်သက်တွေနဲ့ကြည့်နေတဲ့သူတွေအားလုံးကိုကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်နောက်လာမယ့်ပွဲတွေကိုလည်းစောင့်ကြည့်ပေးပါအောင်
He said thank you to everyone watching. Please keep supporting him and keep watching the games.
Oh, for sure, after today, you're going to get lots of support. I wonder who else is going to break the new record now at 7 minutes and 16 seconds. We're going to be talking about that more. And now we're going to head back to our casters. Lead the gorge.
Well, I don't know, Mara. So far, that was the fastest game that we actually had at 7 minutes 16 seconds here, beating Indonesia record by 2 seconds here. So that was the fastest game that we ever had so far in day 2 of the 2026 Asian Games Esports qualifiers for Honor of Kings. But man, what a series that Myanmar actually delivered.
Yeah, absolute, like a shellacking, if you will. I mean, the fastest game thus far, that speaks volumes about how ready this team was. I mean, this is a little discouraging if you're on the other end from UAE. I think that you need to kind of just like let it settle, like just kind of shake it off. You got to move on though.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Very mature, the gameplay showing off from Myanmar, because it feels like they're very used to playing this, definitely, and the way they play with Ukyo, which is very rarely used in other regions sometimes.
Correct.
But still, picking up Ukyo as the first hero every time and winning, I think that's the good thing.
I think that's the good thing too, because they definitely have a lot of mastery, as we can see from the interview between Maro and Ant. He did mention that Ukyo is one of his most played heroes, and he's happy that he actually delivered a great performance in this match too. But for match 3, we have Philippines going up against Mongolia here. Philippines looking to continue that win streak from yesterday, and Mongolia trying to recover from their defeat against Indonesia that they actually received.
Yeah, good news. They don't have the shortest game anymore, right? On the losing side of that, right? Because now that you've kind of seen what happened right here, it's kind of moved on a little bit. By the way, you can find me at Kindofu online, so that if you've got haters, Mongolia, please come after me. But other than that, I think that this is going to be one where, again, they need to bounce back, right? They need to figure it out. But again, Philippines, a bit of a giant, right? They're going to be a tough out in Group A.
I think there's a better way to somehow win a game even faster. How do we do it? With a better device, Agi.
What's the device that the players use, I wonder?
The device would be iQOO, the official gaming phone for 2026 Asian Games Esports events for Honor of Kings qualifier. It's definitely a 120 Hz screen with a very good cooling system, which is what all the players are actually using up on the stage.
Yeah, it's a good device.
Great
and for that to happen, right, we also want to be looking at the upcoming matchup, right? Because Indonesia was also the opponent from Mongolia, and Indonesia is one of the strongest teams coming into Group A, alongside with Philippines, which is their potentially main contender there. So for Mongolia, it's not to say we don't have expectations for them, but it's going to be a difficult route coming in for this upcoming series.
Yeah, I think that that's the biggest thing. Again, another giant waiting in the wings. They just need to weather the storm. They played, Indonesia yesterday. They're going to be playing Philippines today. Those are the worst two. As long as they survive, come out with, their heads upright, posture and all that, everything looking good. As long as they have a little bit of motivation for the rest, the worst is, going to be much better as you move forward.
It's about enjoying the stage, right? Like, you already come so far and come towards the Asian Games qualifiers. It feels good to be able to compete. But you know what feels good too? A small little break that we really deserve before we come back into the next series of the day.
contestants fight for the honor of their regions while we cheer them on from the stands. This is a challenge, but it is also an opportunity. The tide is turned.
Lakhs is in front. They're going to use it. Golden Tide slows down Tatsumi.
Victory!
And we pulled it off together. We share the same voice, the same radiance. This moment of brilliance belongs to all of us. Together, we shine.
Welcome to the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers, Honor of Kings. 20 regions, one stage, and only the strongest 9 teams will earn the right to shine above the rest. Taking place in Malaysia, June 13th to 21st, 2026. Coming to Malaysia, this is the battleground where teams fight for the right to qualify for the Asian Games. 20 teams enter, but only 9 teams will move on. Apart from the 20 regions, there are 3 regions that have direct qualification. Here is the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers Honor of Kings format. First, the 20 teams will split into 4 groups of 5. In each group, every team faces every other team once in a single round robin, with every match played in a best-of-3 format. That means every match matters. Every game matters. Every single point matters. The point system is simple. Win the match, earn 1 point. Lose the match, earn none. At the end of the group stage, teams are ranked by the total points they've collected. And from there, the road begins to shine. The top 2 teams from each group qualify directly to the Asian Games main event. That gives us 8 teams advancing straight out of groups. But for those not through yet, the light isn't out. The teams that finish 3rd in each group still have 1 more shot. They move into the last chance stage. There, they battle through one final BO3 single elimination bracket until 2 teams remain. The 2 teams will then face off in a BO3 match to claim the one final qualification slot. So in total, 9 teams will make it through, 8 from the group stage and 1 through the last chance stage. That is the rule. Now it is time to see who can rise through it. From across the world, regions gather here in Malaysia. 20 teams, and only 9 will qualify. The path is set. The stakes are clear. Together, we shine. Stay tuned, and we'll see you at the stage.
Not ready yet.
You
have slain an enemy.
My magic murmurs in ecstasy.
I'll be back for your life soon. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?